Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Stock Market Review with Web Trading. My name is Coach Lord and I'm here, guys, to break down the market for you guys. Let's review what happened today and where the market might be going next. Today, early in the morning, we had a bit of a squeeze, nice little squeeze actually that happened. And then right toward the end, we actually dropped, right? And that drop was it was fast, it was violent. I was able to catch some of it trading futures. Gonna give a shout out to James who was here with me trading the close power hour trading. So we were able to catch a little bit of that. So that was some good trading. That being said, was that a dead cat bounce that we just had, and are we in pretty much right in line for another big drop, or are we going to consolidate? You guys know we are still in that range that we have had. A lot of things has changed. All right. So yesterday when we had that market review, I told you guys the narrative has not changed. Nothing fundamental has changed in the market, right? Now there are rumors that, hey, you know what, that little bit of a push that we had earlier today was simply because we had good housing numbers. But when you dig in the numbers, it's not so much what the numbers say specifically. Hey, what's up, Jeff? It's more about what exactly is within those numbers. You have to be able to go a little bit beyond, right? Go a little bit beyond of what we are seeing. So right from the get-go, so the numbers come out. When you look at the housing numbers, I believe we had more home sales, we had price increase. On the surface, it looks great on the surface. But I want to remind you guys, this was not exactly what happened. When you dig in the numbers, what you realize, the reason we had an increase in home prices, the reason we had that increase was simply because the homes that was the people were trying to sell at the previous value that where they were listed, they dropped the price. So by dropping the price, now based on the value of the home, it is cheap, right? So if I have let's say a $1 million home, I try to sell it at $1 million. I couldn't sell it because no one wants to buy it. Then I drop the price below market value. Someone buys it. Is that really home sales going up, or is that people just really feeling the pinch and just getting out and liquidating? So this is what was really in the numbers. So that was the first thing with the number that just came out. The second thing, now the market has digest all this headline driven manipulation to push the market up. It was so funny. Even I believe it was the Iranian foreign minister came out and says, you know, some of the stuff that's being said about what's going on, about ceasefires, about war coming to an end. This is all propaganda and manipulation to juice the market up. And I told you guys that. Now everyone sees it. What we realize based on what Pete Hegseth said today, our Secretary of Defense, nothing has changed. We're not anywhere close to a ceasefire. There are more issues happening. As a matter of fact, sadly, we did receive some confirmation on some bad news today that at least 150 or 140 U.S. soldiers have been seriously wounded. Previously, the White House had said this number was, I think we had 7 dead and maybe 8 wounded. So that was less than 20. So that was what the number was, and we had journalists doing some research and check with the hospital in Germany. Apparently, we're not bringing those soldiers back to the U.S. We're keeping them in Germany as a way to sort of like keep all that news out of the headlines. That being said, hey James, I see you, man. That being said, so those numbers came out. I didn't like them. It's not good for the military. Those guys don't choose where to go. They send them. They cannot decide not to go. So of course, we do feel bad for our soldiers. So we hope everything is well there. But again, when it comes to war, you never know what might happen. Again, the Strait of Hormuz is not open. There is an active map. You can go online, look at the active map of the Strait of Hormuz, you can see there's no traffic. There's a maybe one or two oil tankers going through. These are Iranian tankers or Chinese tankers. That's the only two tankers that's going through, and you're going to see massive, massive blockage on both sides of the strait. You will see there's a ton of oil tankers sitting right outside, and it's not just tankers. It's also a lot of, because most of those Gulf countries import most of their food. So there's a lot of things going on, guys. As of right now, I don't think we're going to go to toward a ceasefire, and I do see oil piping back up. I'm still waiting for a better entry on oil because I think by tomorrow I think we might see a little move. So I'm still watching for that. Again, if you guys are here, before we jump right into it, I want to welcome you guys. Thank you for being here once again. Make sure to like and subscribe. You know the vibes. You know how it goes already. Drop me a comment. Drop me an emoji. Give me a thumbs up if you already did so. I appreciate it. A reminder: any engagement that you guys give the channel, that really helps push out the lives. That helps the channel grow. So I really appreciate those of you guys who have been doing that with me. I really, really appreciate that. And for those of you guys watching on replay, do not forget, keep posting your comments, keep sharing those videos with other people that might be able to learn a thing or two, because I try to really teach you guys a few things when I'm here. I try to give you some information that maybe you are not paying attention of, and trying to translate the stock market. That being said, I must give you guys, this is the disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say here is any suggestions for you to buy, hold, or sell. If you do want to trade anything, make sure to do your own due diligence or contact a financial advisor. Reminder: trading carries a lot of risk, including loss of capital. So trade at your own risk and be careful on what you do. But in here, doing those lives, what we do, we focus on the charts. There's no fluff, no BS, no emotions. My emotion, my belief, what I think, what I would like to happen does not come into play. We're just looking at the probabilities based on what the charts is telling us. All right, guys, time to get into it. We are going to go straight into that. All right. Now, what do I have here right now? I have, let me just go on one main screen. Let's start with the S&P 500, guys. We're going to go to the S&P 500. So we had a squeeze up early in the morning. We had a squeeze up, and what did we do? We just went right. I had that trend line. This is the trend line I showed you guys yesterday, right? I told you guys, hey, this is my trend line. I want to see how price react right at that trend line. And what we did, we actually squeezed up to the trend line. This is why I keep telling you guys, I love trading trend lines. Trend line so far has never failed me. The probability of something getting a reaction at a trend line, that probability is nearly 80%. Based on history of me trading trend lines, this is what I've seen. Again, before we even had that yesterday, I draw this in front of you guys right there. This is where I had that, and that's exactly where it came. It came and did that. So you can say this area here did a double top, and then we are squeezing right back down. Now, what exactly are we looking at? We're in the 30 minutes, by the way. This is a 30 minutes time frame. Our best scenario is to curl right back up. Can we do it? We shall see. Tomorrow is not going to be is going to be a very, very volatile day tomorrow. And again, I'm gonna jump on and show you guys why. I want to make sure I cover that with you guys. You guys can see exactly. I don't just give you guys those numbers out of the blue. I'm just following the chart and understanding where exactly we might go. So what did we do? You can say we just did a double top. So this area here is being used. This area here is being used as our neckline for the double top. If we lose that level, I can see us just crashing right back down. All right. So this is what may happen. And again, if you want to look at it, even take a step back a little bit, right? What did we do? What we did do? We do here once again. So this was the high. We just made a lower high. That means as of right now, this is a downtrend. This is why we have a downward trend lines. That means we are on a downtrend. Again, that's the 30 minutes, not on a macro level. We're still on an uptrend on a macro level, but in the 30 minutes, this is a downtrend. Looking at the MACD, what we're hoping for, as I said again in the MACD, is that curl back up is what we're waiting for. What we don't want to see is this bearish divergence to come lower, right? Do this and then do that again. Course right back down. Right now we are still in positive territory, and again, if you were not here yesterday, positive territory for the MACD does not mean it just crossing and pointing up. Positive territory, this is where you see the positive numbers. Negative territory is right here. I have spoken with many traders. Some seasoned traders still interpret that the wrong way. Just because the MACD is printing up does that mean it's positive. All right, this is positive territory, right? All this area here, this is positive territory. All this area. If you look on the right side, again, let me just pull that even higher. If you look on the right side, all those numbers are positive. Down there, all the numbers right here are negative. So that's negative territory. This is how you read the MACD. All right, now let me just fix this real quick. Going on to the 2 hour time frame, see what we're going to do in the 2 hour time frame. The 2 hour is not looking very, very good. So we had a push down. This right here, this is my, I believe this is my 50-day moving average. So we actually lost the 50-day moving average once again. And you guys can see what? If you're looking at the 2 hours, what did we have right here? Look at that. This is an evening star that was done right at the trend line, and we closed below the 100-day moving average. Now we have a bit of support still holding us, but if we lose that support, we can slice through it through butter. There's not much support right below those levels, so this is what needs to hold us over again, excuse me. And tomorrow we have a lot of data coming that's going to shake this market. There's the option market is pricing in a big move. A big move is being priced in right now in the option market. All right. As of right now, it seems like I would favor a move down. I would say as of this is about an 80% of a down day tomorrow, based on what we are doing here. Again, it is highly contingent on how the data shows. Unfortunately, we do have CP. Is it CPI or PPI tomorrow? We're gonna go into it, and you guys going to see that. Checking the 4 hour time frame once again. Checking the 4 hour time frame, you guys can see we went up there and we got rejected. We went up there, got rejected. We are heading back down. Now this is that bit of support zone that needs to hold. If we got below it tomorrow, which is it's highly possible, we might gap down because once again, those numbers that's going to come out, the data that's coming out will be out by an 8:30 a.m., which is when the market is actually closed. If you hold options, you will not be able to do anything to get out of any place because you cannot trade options before 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. All right. Let me take a quick look at the daily. So this is what the daily is doing. All right. So when you have the daily looking like this, being rejected, what exactly do we have? And I told you guys this was highly, highly possible to happen. That's exactly what's playing out. I told you guys, hey, we have a little room up here. We might squeeze up to this level. It is highly possible we might squeeze up to this level, but I can see us going there and then getting rejected. So as of right now, I'm going to treat this as such until something has changed, which is this was a break of the trend line and a retest of that trend line back to the scene of the crime, as I called it, for us to continue to move down. This is the way I'm still going to call it. I don't know if those guys have another ace to put out some headlines to trick the algorithm into buying more stuff because right now they're just running out of tricks. Because what exactly are we going to do? Trump came out and says the war was almost over. That's not true. That has been proven not to be true. He also said we are going to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. That actually is not true. We still don't have anything to the point where he went on, or I believe it was on Fox, and he was saying those ship captains need to have some guts. It doesn't matter if there's that missile threat. They need to go through it. They need to have some guts. They need to be brave. How brave would you be? For your, would you put your life on the line for your job? And you're not in the military. Your job is not as somebody that's a member of the armed forces. You're a civilian. You don't have any way of fighting back. Would you put your life on the line just so you can make sure someone else's oil get through? I wouldn't do it personally. I'm being completely upfront with you guys. I wouldn't do that. Would you do it? I highly doubt many of you guys would do it. Like right now, the job you're doing right now, would you be willing to go in there if there was somebody in there with a gun that says anyone who comes in here to work, they going to harm them, right? Would you? They going to harm them. Would you do that? I wouldn't. It wouldn't make any sense. That being said, let me see. You mentioned tomorrow would be volatile. How do you trade volatility? Trading volatility is about being patient, picking your zone, right? Understanding levels. Um, do not buy anything close to. Do not. I do not buy. I do not go long close to resistance. I do not go short close to support level because those bounces when they happen in volatile market are very very violent and very very quick. Your stop loss would have to be so big for your stop loss not to get hit. All right, wherever that market is going, it typically goes. Now, this is what's priced in for tomorrow. A volatile day tomorrow. That's what's priced in the options market. Again, market makers can do a lot of things. I've seen big 10 $15 move being priced in, and then we open and we stay within a range of like $3 to $4 the entire day. So all they did is drop the volatility. It's a volatility wash, and they take everyone's money, whether you're on the short side or on the call side. Even if it goes your way, the move is not big enough. And with the IV quash, the implied volatility quash, your options loses value, so they just take your money. Anyway, looking at the daily, what is you? This is what I talk about probability, right? So we just bounced, we just got rejected at resistance level. So we have a doji with a long topping tail, right? A long topping tail, doji. What is the most likely move to happen? This is what we talk about probability. I would say it is 60-40. We have a red candle that does this. That's the highly likely move. All right. Now I'm going to go and let you guys know as well when the market pushed up. I was waiting for it. Unfortunately, I took the kiddo out to the park because it was so nice in NYC. It has been horrible for the past couple of days. I was not able to get in at exactly the level that I wanted to, but I have no regrets. I have no regrets. The reason I trade, the reason I do what I do is so I can spend more time with my son. I have that bit of freedom. I can do certain things that I want to do. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is something that does provide a bit more flexibility if you want to be around with your family. So that being said, I wasn't around to take it right there, which is where I really wanted to take it when my alarm was going off. Unfortunately, I was not around to take those trades where I wanted to take them. However, by the time I came back, I did put on some short plays that's already positive right now. So I'm going in tomorrow with some short plays in hand. This is the way I'm going into more right now. I do have some short plays in hand, and I am not yet back into those oil stock yet. So the likelier move, the higher probability move is a push down. Maybe it's going to push down early and bounce back up or whatever it is, but this is where I find the edge. All right. So this is the S&P 500. Let's take a quick look at the Qs. The Qs actually did not perform too bad. But all it did, once again, everything did was squeeze to resistance level and got rejected. Same thing is showing in the Qs. Pretty much the same thing. Look at that rejection right there. Let me just turn that off so this thing can show just a little bit better. Boom. Like, look at this candle. This is what happened, right? This is what happens. Again, this is what I keep telling you guys. This is the level institutions wants to sell. So they allow retail traders when the powers that be, whether it's the administration, is the government, it's a Fed governor, whoever it is, who comes out, somebody that's a heavyweight that can move market, they come out, they put out a headline to trick the algorithm to push the market up, and the market would go up with very low volume, and then it got back to the level they want to sell, and then they sell. This is what's going on. Every single time we got to this level, they just taking advantage of that and selling into it. You can see there was no let me do this. Let me do this a little bit. All right. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm even gonna go even lower. I'm going to go into 1 minute to show you guys exactly what I mean. Right now, this is what happens all morning. We just chopped. We made a double bottom. Now look at this move up. Look how small all these candles were, meaning there's no volume to bring that up. No, look at that's the volume bar right there. You can see it. And they just allow retail traders every time it gets hit, they sell a little bit, they sell some, they let them push it up again, sell some more. Right there, look at that. That's the 1 minute. You think it's going to go, it's about to squeeze? Nope, sell. And then once we start getting to 3 p.m., look at this volume spike. Those volume spikes are not retail traders. We don't have enough money to cause the market to have those kind of high spikes in volume. These type of volume spikes comes from institutional selling. So this is what those guys did. That's them getting out. This is big money. This is big money getting out with this spike right there. Now, right toward the end, we saw a push. So, does someone know something? Maybe early in the morning before we have data dump. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right. So we did see a little bit of selling right toward the end. But then again, was it just a trick to try to give retail traders confidence to come in once again, try to push the market back up so they can get out of there? It may well be. That being said, let's go back to breaking down the charts as far as possible move. Once again, what are we seeing? As soon as I pull that up, you should be able to see it. If you follow me, if you're here with me, let me say I have a question here. Um, Oh, okay. All right, James. I agree with you. Let's say right here, you see that, right? Right there. If you follow me, you should know this pattern by heart. This is a head and shoulder pattern in the 30 minutes. It is a clear head and shoulder pattern in the 30 minutes. All right. Now, can that get canceled out because maybe we have great data tomorrow and then we squeeze? It may happen. But this is what I'm talking about, the probabilities. You check multiple time frames to see how things are aligned. Now, if I go in the 2 hour time frame, what exactly is the 2 hour time frame showing me with the cues? The 2 hour time frame is showing me I am getting rejected once again right at that level. Right there. This is where I'm getting rejected. That's giving me a double top. That's the top. Coming back, doing a double top. This is where I'm getting rejected. And again, if you look at the MACD is seriously looking like it's about to curve and go down. This is the way you trade. By the way, if anybody trading intraday today, James, I already know you were with me today. We got this the trades done. We executed together today, so I know how you did. If you made some money today in the market, let me know. Did you make any money on the way up or on the way down? What did you trade? Did you trade the SPY, the S&P 500, the Qs, or was it small cap? I would love to know if you have anything on that. Would love to know. Let's see. Once again, let me go on the 4 hour time frame. 4 hours, not really giving up us much, just showing that we are getting rejected right at this level. That's what the 4 hours is showing. All right. Now, if we squeeze tomorrow, that there's always a possibility. If we squeeze tomorrow and we take this level, we might squeeze all the way up there. Don't be surprised if we squeeze up tomorrow. We went up. We go up like make a 8 to $14 move tomorrow. All right. If we can squeeze up, but this level has been dangerously, dangerously hard. And right now, it does not look like this is something we can do. But again, nothing is impossible. The market can be irrational sometimes. I will keep saying that to you guys. Again, you guys can see exactly what the daily looks like. You guys can see what that looks like. But the MACD is still pointing up. The MACD is still pointing up, so we'll see how all of that plays out. So let's go on the VIX. This is the thing I wanted to talk to you about. Actually, before I go on the VIX, this is what I wanted to talk to you about tomorrow. So tomorrow is March 11th. So we have consumer price index, we have CPI over here, we have core CPI, and all these things, right? Now, we also have the vice chair, Michelle Bowman, speaking out tomorrow about bank supervision. This sometimes these things are scheduled as a way to come and calm the market down when numbers are bad. So the numbers can be bad, but if she comes out and she says some stuff that makes it sound a bit dovish meaning she might be leaning toward maybe a rate cut or whatever it is, those kind of things. Again, it's a headline driven market. So they give the algorithm headlines and trick the algorithm to buy. They know what they're doing. That's the game. All right. So we'll see how that plays out. But tomorrow we have CPI numbers, and if these are bad, seeing core CPI like inflation is popping up once again, we might have an issue. And on top of that, when you look at all the numbers that's about to drop once again on Friday, man, we in for a volatile week this week. And do not forget, we still have the geopolitical issues and the economic issues. Those have not gone away. All right, none of those numbers have gone away yet. Now going right back into the chart, if I could go, let me take you guys to the DIA. This is the Dow. You guys already know. I already have shorts on the Dow. I told you guys I took some profit that day. Today, what at this level, I actually added back my short position. Whatever profit I took over, I added those back once again. I still think the Dow is going to have a hard time because without a rate cut, if we have an inflation spike, the Dow is going to tank. Without a rate cut, those companies are going to suffer. With less access and a rise in oil prices, we're going to see the Dow is going to drop. Why? A lot of those companies rely on cheap oil, rely on low interest rate for them to operate. So those things they strangle those companies. Some companies might go out of if what is being talked about um, crude oil possibly going to $200 a barrel, 200, we might be in for some problems. Now, we had this drop. We already had this drop. That was before oil popped above 100. Oil actually closed, if I'm not mistaken, crude oil, I believe, closed where? Okay, I'll take a look at that. I think crude oil closed nearly at $100. It's already up. That has not been priced in yet. All right, that has not been priced in yet. So I do see some further downside. Again, I do see it just like I said with the SPY. This was nothing but a break and retest or a dead cat bounce. As the thumbnail says, this is possibly a dead cat bounce. All right. Going real quick and checking Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin looks like. This is our good friend Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually just squeezed again, went right back there. I'm seeing some people talking about Bitcoin to 85,000. Again, I'm not saying this is not possible. However, until we have taken this level, I can't be talking about no 85,000 with anybody. All right. This is a strong, strong level. Let me go on the weekly so you guys remember why I picked this as that level. This is where we are. If we cannot take these strong levels on Bitcoin, I can even bring this as high as, actually, let me even bring that down. If we cannot even take this level, how exactly do we squeeze to 85? I just don't see it. Not yet. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Again, anything is possible, but as of right now, I just do not see it. This is what I'm talking about. Going back on the daily, you guys can see Bitcoin squeezed once again to 71 and got rejected. As a matter of fact, it's making a lower high. I don't like it when things like that are making lower high. This is, look at that. This is the 4 hour time frame. You guys can see it, and this is doing that. It seems like it's making a lower high in the MACD, and most likely we might be dropping. Now, excuse me, I don't want you guys to neglect the fact that there's a possible inverted head and shoulder pattern being formed at this level as well. So can that squeeze? We shall see. The 2 hours does not look good. The 2 hours giving me a bearish divergence. This is a lower high. The 2 hours actually has course down. The course has been confirmed. Let's see if if it continues to push or if it bounces and reject that move. Because right now it actually has course down. All right. So this is what we are looking at. The 30 minutes might give us a bit of a squeeze. So we shall see how that goes. Let me go right to the VIX. I know some of you guys, this is the thing you're really interested in. Taking a look at the VIX. Let's take a quick look at the VIX. The VIX right now in the 30 minutes is showing what? It's showing, because this is lower, this is not a double top. Because this is showing, yes, this is resistance level, but this is not considered a double top simply because this is the left side, this is the head. So this was lower. So that means there's a possible inverted head and shoulder pattern forming. All right. And if you're looking at the 30 minutes, it's still negative, but you guys know how quickly the VIX can move. And if the when the VIX pop, this thing can run. When it pops, that thing can, you guys know that. When that thing pops, it runs and it runs fast. Now let's take a quick look at the 2 hour time frame. The 2 hour time frame show us there's a possible head and shoulder pattern. We cannot neglect that. However, so there's that's the difference also. If you put a trend line, this trend line held. There's a possible head and shoulder pattern being formed. So we have to take out this level. This is the top of the left shoulder, but you cannot ignore there's a trend line that was held right there. And this is making what? This is making higher lows. We're making higher lows, right? And if you look at that, all these were higher highs and higher lows. This is what we're doing. So there's a possibility we might squeeze. All right. Again, this is why it's so volatile and the market is pricing in a big move because this can happen either way. All right. We right at a dynamic support level with the trend line, so we can squeeze up. Right. We can squeeze up. Dynamic level on the trend line, we can squeeze up. Once again, reminder, I want to remind you guys, how do you trade in volatile market? How exactly do you do it? You can buy puts on the SPY, on the Qs, on the DIA, on IWM. All right. You can buy the puts on those, or you can flat out buy the VIX. All right, you can flat out buy the VIX. You can buy the VIXY or the UVXY to find cheaper options. Um, if you're buying, I'm trying my absolute best. There's always a bull market somewhere. That's the saying, right? But I'm trying my hardest. Trying not to really do much swing trading. This is more of a day traders market right now. This is where we are. It's super volatile right now. There's no direction. We're just in a range. Buy defensive stocks. Buy defensive stocks. If you buy the likes of AT&T, you buy the likes of even Verizon don't move that much. McDonald's, like those companies, Coca-Cola, Those companies do not make crazy, crazy move. Or you can just buy stocks that pays dividends and just sit back and wait. Get paid while you wait until things go away. Or just focus on your day trading. If you can day trade. Actually, I want to add a seventh option. Let me add a seventh option. Stay in cash. Stay on the sideline. That's also an option. Do nothing. Stay on the sideline. You don't have to take a trade. You can just sit on the sideline. All right. So, that being said, guys, this is about all I have for you guys today. I know I give you guys a lot of info. This was a ton of information I give you guys. I did see we had a lot of people watching. Once again, if you are here, if you're new, feel free to ask questions. You can always ask questions. All right. You can always ask questions. I'm more than happy to answer questions that you may have. As long as it's within bounds. All right. I'm not going into anything as far as a trading strategy, specific trading strategy, because this is not what those reviews are for. But I do have some trading strategies on the channel you can check out. There's more coming. I've been feeling under the weather. I'm getting back to myself. You guys are going to see more content. But if you are here, if you haven't done so, make sure to like, subscribe, drop me a comment, give me a thumbs up, give me something. Help the algorithm push those live out, help the channel grow. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me check one more time. I don't think we have any questions. If you are part of the trading community, if you're new here, I do have a trading community on WhatsApp. The main lobby is free. You can come in, meet other traders, talk if you want to talk, if you want to ask questions, and share a few things. Do so. There are some restricted room, but you can just remain in the main lobby and just participate and be around other traders. If you would like to learn how to trade futures, I do teach a course on that. Of course, if you want to learn that, I do help many, 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 many people pass the evaluation. This is something that I do. Make sure, feel free to contact me so I can help you out. If you are part of the community, once again, I will see you guys on Teams. Right after this live, I will see you guys on Teams. For all of you guys, I appreciate you guys being here. Take care. Have a good night. Tomorrow, once again, make sure you follow the process. POP. I did not say that today, but I have to say that before I go. Follow just process over profit. Follow your process. If you follow the process, the profit will come. All right. Don't chase trades. Don't get on moving trend. This is how people get wrecked. If you miss a trade, look for the next one. All right. Don't think that, oh my goodness, I need to take this. Yeah, sometimes you miss a great trade. Just find the next one. All right, find the next one. Have a trading plan, stick to your trading plan, be patient. And as usual, guys, the market is highly, highly volatile. So it's get in, get green, get out. Don't be too greedy in this market, because you will see your green trade goes red in an instant. And when it does, it's going to go fast. Trust me, I'm telling you from experience. All right. That being said, guys, take care. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's been well fun. It's been well. Peace out. I'll see you guys later.